Go.
Elements of each, I would submit that state is failed to put on sufficient evidence to allow any rational trier of fact to find him guilty beyond reasonable.
Why did you do that? Why they mute it?
Judge, I will submit this to the court largely because the courts have the ability to sit through all the evidence thus far.
Now this is for appeal purposes.
In perfect position to obviously rule on this motion without me belaboring the point. But I would specifically hit the issue of the conspiracy. I would argue to the court that based on the proof that we have thus far, there is insufficient proof of any agreement prior to the homicide that would allow the jury to ever, any rational trier of fact, to find him guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Essentially, what we've got is Mr. Smith testifying that the only times that the murders were discussed, according to him, between him, Govan, and Jook, Mr. Johnson was not there. He had one conversation with Mr. Govan and Mr. Mims at Mr. Govan's house. And he testified, I believe, that he had another conversation with Mr. Govan with others present, but Mr. Mims was not present. Neither time was Mr. Justin Johnson present for those conversations. And although we have interactions occurring on the cell phone prior to the incident between Mr. Smith and the cell phone from Mr. Johnson, there's not any evidence before the court that would be sufficient to establish a criminal agreement.
There ain't no proof.
As it relates to Justin Johnson.
Ain't no proof. You don't got him on wiretap saying that.
Direct and circumstantial proof in this case with regard to various counts. Direct proof from Cornelius Smith. Taking up issue with the conspiracy first, Mr. Smith stated that he was present for times that Jook and Mr. Govan
No, it's not Govan.
soliciting and agreeing and planning the murder of Dolph and the other artists. He testified in court in front of the jury that the plan that day was for he and Johnson to drive to Westwood to this turkey drive and kill one of the PRE artists, whoever that was going to be.
Remember, y'all, it was a hit on the whole PRE. Like, this just wasn't a hit on Dolph. It was a hit. Every single PRE member had a price tag on their head. So when they went out that day, they didn't go out specifically looking for Dolph. They went out looking for any one of them. And they happened to find Dolph.
As happenstance would have it, they came upon Dolph, and we saw the video for ourselves. I think it's more than sufficient proof of an agreement and an overt act taken by Mr. Johnson in furtherance of the conspiracy. Likewise, for the first-degree murder, Your Honor heard the direct proof of Cornelius Smith, who stated he was there, and Mr. Johnson, he were the two that killed Dolph. I think that alone, accomplice testimony is not even required to be corroborated anymore pursuant to our Supreme Court decision just a few months ago.
It definitely got to be corroborated some more.
Anyway, circumstantially, we've seen Mr. Johnson at Crosstown in the Mercedes-Benz with the outfit on.
You heard what he said?
And
circumstantially. You heard what he said, right?
after the murder at Haven Court, and Your Honor has seen, the jury has seen, in my opinion, overwhelming evidence, but even just taking the evidence in the light most favorable to the state, I believe Your Honor has jury questions with regard to all three of these offenses.
Judge, the only thing I would add about conspiracy is there's clearly some evidence of an agreement.
I don't know.